anticipated matchups of this Big East tournament so far, with Xavier and Marquette going toe-to-toe for the third time this season, with the right to play St. John's. The top seed looked real strong in our opener here today in quarterfinal Thursday at the Big East tournament. A 21-point victory over Butler. And now we've got a game with a whole lot of meaning. We welcome you courtside. Noah Eagle, Donnie Marshall, and John Fanta. The reason this has a lot of meaning, it was a slow start to the season for Xavier, but they have played their way into tournament consideration. A win today goes a long way. Yeah,
started 1-4, probably now the hottest team in the Big East for sure, and one of the hottest in America because of their pace, because of the way they play. They continue to come at you. Very similar to St. John's, but a lot of punch on the offensive end. And Sean Miller, who knows better than him? Not many. What it means this time of year to get teams into the NCAA tournament.
How cool has it been to see Zach Fremantle not only back on the court, but producing at the level he has?
Yeah, he's playing with a confidence, and this team plays differently. Just him being on the floor, no matter if he's scoring or rebounding, just his presence gives him a different confidence. He is tough. He's got a lot of family in the building, being from just across the river. It's going to be a special day for him.
On the other side for Marquette, they came out really firing on all cylinders early this season, but stumbled a little bit towards the end. Shaka Smart likes their process a little bit more down the stretch these last couple of games. 2 straight losses, but Cam Jones has taken yet another step in his final season.
Yeah, they have been a staple when it comes to being consistent, haven't had a different lineup, starting lineup all season long. This is who they are, but Cam Jones is the head of the snake. He's had to take on a different role as facilitator and continue to score and lead his team. I tell you what, he leads the team in daps. You will see that today. Everyone, there might be some people sitting courtside that get dapped up by Cam Jones. He's one of those guys, just a special player.
He's a top-tier dapper. And we take a look at our starting lineups presented by Jeep. It's the usual suspects on either side. In fact, for Marquette, they have played this starting 5 in all 31 games leading up, so why change it now? Jones, Ross, Mitchell, Gold, Joplin. For Xavier, McKnight running the point. Ryan Conwell has been one of the more impact transfers around the country this year. Foster, Swain, and Fremantle round out the unit as we send it over to John Fanta.
Guys, the date was January 7th. Xavier had gotten what Zach Fremantle called punked against St. John's at home. It caused the Musketeers to fall to 9-7 overall and 1-4 in the Big East. Fremantle and Jerome Hunter called the players in for a players-only meeting in the locker room. Zach laid it out. He said, this is not Xavier basketball. The standard of our program is what we did 2 years ago when we made the Sweet 16 and we made a deep run into March. That meeting sparked what we have seen since. 12 on the last 15, 7 consecutive wins. Sean Miller told me, no, we do not ignore the bubble, where they are the second to last team in right now, according to our Feeling the 68 bracketologist. He goes, it's human nature. We're all on our phones. We all see it. These are playoff games. We got to treat them as such, and we're fighting for our lives.
And, John, they've already been in that mentality as a result. He says they're rebounding better. They've improved their defense. They're taking care of the basketball better. But on top of all of it, you don't know how a team, especially a team that's newly put together in the fashion that Xavier is, will respond when you get punched in the mouth over the course of a season. That's what Marquette's feeling right now down the stretch after the fantastic 15-2 start. Got them up to number 7 in the country. They were 18-3 at one point, but they faltered a little bit down the stretch. However, their final 2 games of the regular season at UConn, home for St. John's in that buzzer-beating loss, they had chances to win both of them, and Shaka loves what he's seen out of the process from his team. D-Wade's in the building. Marquette legend. He's been killing it on the Today Show this week. His beard is extra trimmed up. Flash, looking fresh. Courtside at MSG. Our officials for this matchup, James Breeding, Lamar Simpson, and Tony Chiazza. A lot of anticipation going into this matchup. The right to play St. John's in the semifinals and one of the best days in the sport tomorrow. And we are all set and underway from MSG. Marquette has it. These two split the first 2 meetings, each team winning by 2 points. On December 21st, it was Marquette, 72-70. On January 18th, Xavier got their revenge, 59-57. Joplin on the outside, leaves it for Jones. 2-man game between the all Big East selections, and Joplin makes it rain.
That's a huge start for David Joplin. Can score at all 3 levels. And you have to realize that this Xavier team led the Big East in points per game at almost 77. So anyone with the ball in their hand can hurt you in a white uniform.
Certainly Conwell, one of the leaders in that category, along with Fremantle at 17.4 per game. McKnight, bounce it, Fremantle. The back down, nice feed inside for the easy one.
And that's not like a Shaka Smart coach team on the defensive end. Their communication, they at times over-communicate just to make sure the message is sent, who's got who.
Stevie Mitchell, he's got it, and 2 straight threes for Marquette.
He's a huge piece for Marquette as well on the offensive side of it. We know what he does defensively, one of the best defenders in the country. Best steal guys in the Big East, and if he can give you some offense, what a bonus.
Foster got caught up by Gold. Now a reload with McKnight. Sean Miller's been wary of this Marquette defense against this young man Conwell, who bounces inside. Oh, we've got a wedgie! The first 90 seconds. That is as wedged as it comes. That might be atomic wedgie level. They could get it out on one poke, and finally Gold unwedges.
Well, you talked about what they do defensively. Ben Gold is huge for them downstairs because he's their biggest guy, and he's active. Got to get there quicker. They gave up one of those earlier. Also, deflections is so important for this Marquette team. It's disruptive. It changes the complexion of the opponent's offensive sets, and it leads to steals most times.
So Swain now with all 4 for Xavier after the Gold foul. 6-4. Sean Miller talked about the Marquette defense against Conwell. He said nobody's played him better this year. His 2 worst games in a Xavier uniform have come against the Golden Eagles. And now a foul on the other side is going to go against Xavier, and it'll be Marcus Foster.
I think Marcus Foster's that unsung hero for Sean Miller's team. You forget about him because of guys like Fremantle and Conwell and McKnight. They're just so explosive at their positions. But Foster, he seems to be there. He's their glue, almost that calming effect for this team.
He's played 143 college games. The experience is there. He's 23 years old. That comes with a level of calm and glue guy type vibe. 5 to shoot now for Gold. Splits the double, floats it short. And Fremantle with a nice job to seal. In transition, McKnight leave it. Conwell, ball fake, drive, kick. Fremantle puts it on the deck, runs into Gold, and floats it a little strong.
This is the second oldest team in all of college basketball, Xavier. This is the time of year for them. Your veterans step up. Nothing really rattles them.
That one a little off the mark. Cam Jones averaging 19 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Deep one, Conwell. Weak side rebound. Fremantle jarred it loose, but out of bounds.
I love the pace right now. Davion McKnight is a game changer, meaning he will take very good care of the basketball, and he finds guys. He's so unselfish. To me, the sign of a great point guard, and I've played with many not good but great point guards. They throw the ball ahead. They don't hold on to it. They let you go to work.
Jones, no. Out of bounds, back to Xavier. Both teams in their wins led by large margins. In Marquette's victory over Xavier in December, they led by 15 points. Then Xavier was up by as many as 19 in the January matchup. Both coaches have admitted that both teams are so different from both of those meetings, making it difficult on Conwell again. On the scramble, Conwell left alone for 3.
Well, Conwell got away with one. You can't dribble across to this corner and pick that ball up.
Mitchell a little out of control. Conwell looking to push. Get it up ahead, Swain puts the head down. Nice defense, good recovery by that Marquette transition opportunity. Marquette started 2 for 2, but they've missed 4 in a row. Joplin got the first one to go and doesn't get the roll here. Foster slows it down, finds Conwell. And he just gets smacked by Jones. Jones actually took some contact as well, but he's going to pick up the foul.
Well, Ryan Conwell can score in so many ways. Every time you talk to Sean Miller about him, he glows. Said he's just been a consummate vet. games, he calls his number, he steps up, and when they don't need it as much, he's still there to support his guys. But he is a huge weapon, especially this time of year.
You see the struggles in the two matchups against Marquette this year. He's averaging 16.2, 41%. Sean Miller, to your point, just said he's a joy to coach because he shows up every day, no matter what's happening on or off the court, with the same spirit and a smile on his face. Fremantle, leave it, corner look. Foster knocks it through.
Just till you forget about him. He's just, you know, he's solid at both ends.
8-0 Musketeer run to take a 4-point lead. Ross, just left it in no man's land and out of bounds. 4 minutes into this game, and we've got the quick pace that we expected between two teams desperate for a victory at MSG.
Yeah, up and down, as my mom says in these games. You better bring your tinny runners. It's gonna be a track meet out here today. It is already. What a good one in front of us right now.
Well, this epitomizes the season for Xavier. Started their first 13 games in Big East play at 6-7, but 7 consecutive wins to wrap up the season, including the victories in their last 3. A dominant performance against Creighton, pretty handily at Butler, and then against Providence to round out the year. You look at the scoring margin in those 7 games. That's what stands out. And for Sean Miller, he said it makes sense that it would take time with this team. He said if he could do it over again with all the transfers he brought in, and he had a second crack at it, he'd spend a good 3 to 4 months early in the season before the year to really establish roles and make sure everybody was understanding of what was expected of them on any given night.
Some of that you have to let happen organically, though, too. When you're in a new environment and you've been the guy at your last school, most of these guys have been for years. So I think you got to let that evolve a little bit more, and it probably took just a little longer than he wanted.
Fremantle doubled, and a foul. Nope, jump ball.
I don't know if you know this, no, coaches are impatient. I don't know.
Really?
That, yeah.
All coaches?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say yes. They want things to happen immediately. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We got no time to waste.
It's kind of like when a replay goes up. I'm like, Donnie's going to just talk about this, right?
I mean, this is...
Well, come on.
Replays.
Jones will come back in along with Conwell on the other side, so mirroring each other as Mitchell takes a seat. It's Jones, Ross, Lowry, Parham, and Joplin. Push shot falls a little bit short for Swain. Hunter on the floor for Xavier along with Maddox off the bench. Conwell and Fremantle round out the 5. Drive, Parham caught up. It's the youth versus experience. Joplin using his size, and he just finds the angle.
So improved. Body looks great this year. He's trimmed down. Joplin really has found a niche in every aspect of scoring on this Marquette team this year.
Fremantle sprayed out. Maddox, his job is to score off the bench, and he can do it at a high level.
Such freedom it gives you to know that, look, you got to play basketball. You got to be a good teammate, but your first priority is to score the basketball when you get in the game.
Parham is stripped, and it's going to be a foul on Swain.
Well, David Joplin with that size. A lot of NBA scouts have been at games. Conversations with Shaka Smart. Just a quality kid. Has not started every game that he has played in, which is phenomenal. And then again, Dante Maddox to me is an interesting player because he was put in a role that he should not be in early in the season. They figured it out.
In Long Bright River, Amanda Seyfried stars as a Philadelphia cop on an investigation that hits too close to home. The limited series is streaming now, only on Peacock.
And what I mean about Dante Maddox Jr. is probably not a pure point guard, and they tried that early in the season. Just a scoring guard, and he's now found a new role, and that's probably what Sean Miller's talking about. Give them a chance early on to put them in their spots. So they figured it out now.
A little bit of a zone look from this Marquette defense. They get a fortuitous bounce to Xavier off the deflection. Foster, leave it. Conwell goes to get it. 14 to shoot. Rejects the screen. Conwell stops, looks, finds Hunter. 7 to shoot. It's Foster going to make it happen. Oh, the sidestep and bucket.
Just so good, so undervalued, Marcus Foster.
Cam Jones, will he start to assert himself now 6 minutes in? Strong take, Lowry, not a strong finish, but he does end up with the basketball. And then Conwell ripped it away, and a foul's going to be called. Conwell got in there, and he's going to pick up his first.
I thought that was a great idea by Conwell, just to swipes at it, and then he says, you know what, I need to grab this.
Ooh, ooh. Conwell thought he picked it clean. So now he'll have to be aware playing with the 1 in this early going. They need him out on the floor. Ross will go into the backcourt to get it. Marquette on the season, 77 points per game. Put up 84 against that vaunted St. John's defense, albeit in overtime. Shaka Smart liked what they did offensively. The problem, he said, was the defensive end. Joplin, tough one, in and out. Conwell will run it. Maddox, pump, drive. Maddox in traffic, and he's got 2 free throws coming.
The pace that Xavier plays with and the confidence in that pace, even if you, I know it's off of a miss, it's easier to run. You beat the defense down the floor, but they will run, which makes them scary, even on a make. They throw the ball ahead, but again, it comes from having really good point guards and veterans who understand my guy's ahead. Let me throw, let him go to work. Unselfishness, I think, is really the key when you have an older team, especially teams now who are put together so quickly every summer.
One more free throw coming from Maddox as we check in with John.
Well, Donnie, you talked about Dante Maddox figuring it out. I asked Sean Miller and the coaching staff, how was he during November and December? And they said because his mentality never changed, it allowed him to do so. A lot of players, when they make that transfer level up, they never figure it out in season. That's harder to do. The staff was really pleased with the way this kid stuck the course.
And a timeout's going to be awarded to Marquette here. Really good extra information and background, and that's really what Xavier feels like they've done as a team, is stay the course overall, and that's what Sean Miller's been proud of with his guys. You could easily pack it in with the way they started this season. Stumbled 8-5 after the 6-0 start. They looked dead in the water at one point when they were 14-10, but once they did establish those roles, and Sean Miller's just loved the way they've come together. And as John told us before the game, it's been playoff basketball now for a while, entering into this week and potentially beyond if Xavier can find their way into the tournament. Doing against a Marquette team that just had so much expectation after a 27-10 campaign last year. Beat Villanova and Providence in the Big East tournament before the loss to UConn, of course, winning the tournament 2 years ago, and then fell in the Sweet 16 to that miracle run with NC State. For Shaka Smart, with all the senior leadership they have, and of course you lose Tyler Kolek and Oso Ighodaro last year, 2 guys that meant so much to this program. But with Cam Jones playing at the level he is, Stevie Mitchell playing the way he has this year, David Joplin, an all Big East third-team selection at 14 points per game. Ben Gold has provided some great minutes through the year. They have all the pieces. They believe that as long as they play their brand and their style, they are difficult to beat and they can compete with anybody. It's Parham, a little bit short.
I don't think he had his feet quite set, ready to catch and shoot that ball.
Swain. Xavier has 5 assists on 5 made field goals. Marquette started 2 for 2, 1 for its last 10. Mitchell forcing the issue and creating the space, but he couldn't finish it. Swain rips it down, now looking to push. Mitchell, the recovery and the steal. He'll step into it in transition. A little too strong.
I don't mind it, though. He did the work to go get the steal, which he does a lot. So he earned that right to pull up from there.
Team high 2.3 steals per game. He was 0 for 7 from the floor against St. John's. 4.6 rebounds, 2 assists. Xavier looking to move it a little bit. Foster leaves it for Swain. 3 to shoot. It's going to have to be a force and a hit. Jerome Hunter finds Nylon.
I think that's interesting. When he first came over from Indiana, Sean Miller had to tell him, listen, that's not what you do, man. We need you to just work, be our glue.
And finally, Cam Jones on the board. Nearly midway through this first half, his first field goal.
Jerome Hunter was shooting threes, and Sean was like, that's not where we're going to use you, so you're going to have to conform a little bit here, and he's turned out to be just a wonderful bright spot for his
Maddox. Oh, that was a ridiculous. Nearly went down. Mitchell pushing. Leave it. Jones at the controls. Jones, the head fake. Kick. Rip. Drive. Lowry clears the space for the bucket.
Yeah, that individual defense is very important, and Marquette does a nice job of keeping you spread because Cam Jones can shoot it, Parham can shoot it. They got some Stevie Mitchell, so you have to respect that on the other side, and that help is going to come late. You got to stand guys up, stay in front.
Swain off the screen. Surveys, skip pass, Maddox. Attacks, Parham moved his feet. Conwell, 10 to shoot. Step away, 3. Rebound collected by Parham.
Great D, contesting, no foul on the shot. Love that.
Gold puts it on the deck. Showing off the handle. It's Jones. Weak side rebound falls to Conwell. Xavier looking to push again. Conwell, a man on a mission, and he threw it away. Mitchell, right place, right time. Parham running with him. Mitchell didn't see him. And a nice feed inside. Lowry with the extra effort, and Parham rocks the rim. Timeout, Xavier. 6 straight points from the Golden Eagles to bring it back to 3.
You got to watch your wallet around Stevie Mitchell. He will take it, and he will cash it in. Really nice job of fighting their way back into this one. Marquette down 3 here at MSG.
Right now, we have a wildcat. You got a match to catch. You got a back row. You got a backdoor cut. You got to go force the action. You got to play the game.
It's never easy coaching or playing against this Marquette team. They just make the game so clunky and difficult for you. But Sean Miller has the experience, and he was prepared for what his team was about to see today.
Just so well coached, Marquette. We know that they play with purpose, but they play with a different kind of passion. Another team that really doesn't get rattled, and they can switch. They'll try to switch at least 4, but they can switch all 5 positions. And now you have to run your counter action if you're Xavier, but you have to continue to stay aggressive against it.
So it's a 1-possession game after Xavier had pulled away a little bit, led by as many as 9. 6 straight points in response. Now midway through this first half. McKnight back at the controls for the Musketeers. Mitchell stays with him. Already 2 steals for Mitchell in this first half. Around for Maddox. Fremantle back on the floor. He's been quiet so far. Bouncing for McKnight. Back down. Likes the mismatch. Fades. Short. Good defense again by Mitchell. Get it back for Jones. Working on Conwell. Around the horn it goes. Demarius Owens, who did not play against St. John's, is in there and draws the contact on the drive. McKnight's first.
Sean Miller didn't like it. Thought Owens was a little bit off balance. It almost looked like McKnight kind of pulled the chair out from under him. There was a little hand there, but was it enough to make him fall? That was a veteran move to me.
So Mitchell will go to the bench. Chase Ross comes back in. Just 6 minutes of action. He hasn't attempted a shot yet. Ross has been in double figures in 4 of his last 6 games. He played 42 minutes against St. John's. Gold, leave it for Ross. Jab, drive on Conwell, float it through.
Ross, another one of those gritty players, can get hot from 3. He's got great athleticism to get to the rim, as you saw there.
Maddox on the outside, working against Joplin. That means Fremantle's got a mismatch. Converge. And a whistle. Cam Jones came over on the help, and that's going to be number 2.
Yeah, there's no flicking at the ball when they come down to double. They're trying to take it from you. They're not going to try to poke it away, and that's kind of the risk that you run when you go in there like that.
So Jones is going to stay in there with the 2 personal fouls. Conwell sits. And now they've changed it. It's Owens who's going to have that first foul. They just announced Jones will still have 1, but he will go to the bench anyway, as Mitchell checks back in. So Mitchell, Ross, Owens, Gold, and Joplin against Foster, Swain, McKnight, Maddox, and Fremantle. Maddox working against Ross. 12 to shoot. Fremantle nearly taken away by Mitchell. Now a 5-on-4. It's an open look in the corner. A little too strong from Foster. And then ricocheted out of bounds, staying with Xavier.
I'm not sure about this, and I think that ball should go the other way. Yeah.
They've changed it. Tough on the bang-bang calls, but they do get it right. And now Cam Jones hops up, and he'll check back in. Jones in for Owens. Joplin on the floor as well. And now you've got the starting 5 on both sides, minus Conwell for Xavier, who sits in favor of Hunter. Under 9 to play in this first half. Xavier has cooled down. It's an 8-0 Marquette run with a chance to regain the lead. Joplin, kick, swing, corner, 3. Off the heel, long rebound, tracked down. Foster on the run, lob it up. Fremantle blocked, but a foul. Ross was with him stride for stride, and Fremantle can finally get in the scoring column at the free throw line.
Such a heads-up play by Foster, but watch Zach Fremantle, number 32 in white, left of your screen. He is hauling. I mean, he knows what's happening. Beautiful pass. Nice job pursuing the ball. Nothing easy in the Big East tournament.
What a story Zach Fremantle is, returning this season, missed the final 15 games 2 years ago, all of last season with that foot injury, multiple surgeries required, and making the All-Big East second team. He turns 25 on October 1st, but has been in double figures every game this season, and that's what Sean Miller said is so incredible. Hey, sure, there were moments where he maybe wasn't 150% Zach Fremantle, but he really did miss a beat. You would take him out of the lineup. He missed a couple games earlier this year as well. Put him back in there, and he produces at a high level.
Finished on that 7-game win streak. He'd averaged 20 points a game in those 7 games.
Check in with John.
Think about this, guys, in today's college basketball. You're just not seeing guys that stay with a program for 6 years. Sean Miller said that's what I credit Zach with, the perseverance. It could have been very easy, because you're almost returning to the scene of a crime when you keep coming back from these season-ending injuries and tough blows. He could have folded and said, I want to go somewhere else. He stayed at Xavier.
Under 8 to play, Fremantle and the Musketeers with a 3-point lead. Back here at MSG, under 8 to play in the first half in this critical 4-5 matchup. Jim Calhoun, Hall of Famer, 7 Big East tournament championships. That's something that Shaka Smart is trying to emulate. He's got one from a couple years ago, and moments ago he was with our John Fanta.
Shaka, you've been talking in your huddles about building a wall defensively. How do you think that's gone?
Well, we've had some really good possessions defensively, a couple of which didn't go our way. They made a tough shot at the end of the clock, a couple bounces that were unfortunate. We just got to keep fighting. Xavier's got a lot of weapons, so we got to make sure we get a hand up on shooters and then rotate when we do get a little out of sorts.
Let's turn to the other end. Where do you think your offense is at?
Well, I like how our guys are attacking. Obviously, that last possession wasn't what we wanted. We've got to make sure our spacing is good because they're switching, and if our spacing is good, it allows us to go to the basket and create an opportunity. But I like our guys' attack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Marquette on the season shoots 45% from the floor, just a tick below 33 from 3. Only 7 of 20 so far from the field, but as Shaka said, the attacks have been there, and they went down 19-10. They have outscored this Xavier team 8-2 since then. Musketeers trying to steady the ship. Here's that zone look again from that Marquette defensive side. McKnight will run the offense. Working against Jones. Looking for Hunter. Finds him there. Lob it inside Fremantle with good position, and a foul is going to be called on the catch against Joplin. It'll be the 6th team foul, so final to give in this first half for Marquette.
Yeah, that left arm of Joplin just a little too hooky. You know, you got to keep those hands up. Use your body. Use your hip.
He was playing hooky?
Yeah, it was a little too hooky.
McKnight spins, drives, scores.
And there, the defense was absent without permission. So did there?
I like that. Yeah, no, I like that.
See what it did there?
No, doctor's note.
No, nothing. You need that.
That's the blow by
McKnight. That's what he does. Look, when you think he's a facilitator, he can change that gear. So can't this guy.
Just so crafty with both hands near the basket. So Jones with another bucket. 7 minutes to play in this first half. Xavier could really use this victory for their NCAA tournament resume, heading towards Selection Sunday this weekend. Hunter, leave it, Swain. Off the screen from Fremantle. Swain puts the head down. Attacks on Joplin and picks up Joplin's 2nd foul.
And Xavier is doing what they do. They turn the corner. They're all aggressive. That's what Sean Miller told us a few days ago. He just wants his guys to continue to pursue, get downhill, be aggressive. You have to be the aggressor in these games because, again, you look, if you stop short, you try to shoot a little floater, you don't get that call.
Well, we've got thrillifying news. That's right, thrillifying news. The blockbuster Oscar-winning movie Wicked is streaming March 21st, only on Peacock. I did say yesterday I got to start using it more. Thrillifying. It rolls off the tongue.
If it works, I mean, yeah, I just don't want to jam it in. Would be my advice.
I'm with you there.
No.
It's got to be within the flow. You know, it's like a player playing within the flow of the game.
That felt a little fresh.
Oh, come on. Open look. Mitchell a little too strong. McKnight has the mismatch with Gold. On this matchup zone, they go inside. Fremantle against Parham. Double comes with Jones. Hook it inside. Extra feed. Conwell. Got it! And one!
What makes this play work is every player that touches the ball is looking towards the basket to attack. Fremantle towards the hoop. Hunter towards the hoop. And then Foster towards the hoop. I mean, your vision has to look towards the scoring areas. And then obviously Conwell knows what to do with it. But so many guys catch the ball, they look out. They look to the three-point line. You gotta always stay on the attack, even with your vision.
So now 2 fouls on Joplin, who's on the bench as a result. Now 2 fouls on Ben Gold. So the bigs for Marquette in a little bit of deep water. Ross attacks and is fouled. Dalen Swain didn't like it, but he did get him on the head from behind. And it will be 2 free throws for the Golden Eagles.
Ross, Jones, they just have this unorthodox movement at times. How they meander through the paint, and you're trying to figure out how to time it better. They know how to get you into those weird spots and to make you foul them.
Zay Lowry at the scorer's table will have to wait. Caden Hamilton, with the foul trouble from Gold and Joplin, Shaka Smart's going deeper into his big rotation. The redshirt freshman from the West Coast getting some early run. So he's got Parham, the All Big East freshman selection, out there, along with a redshirt freshman in Hamilton who doesn't see a ton of minutes consistently. We'll see how Xavier elects to attack that, up by 5. Fremantle. Leave it for Maddox. Perfect blow up of that screen up top. Swing it. Open look. Way too strong. Fremantle's there on the cleanup. Step away 3. Jones, butter. Couple of lefties dueling. McKnight missed his. Jones won't miss his 3-ball. Conwell, aggressive.
Just a quick little flick with that right hand.
Hamilton leaves it for the trailing Jones at the controls once again. Always steady with the ball in his hands. Finds the opening. Leave it. Ross, pump, drive, fend off. What a pass. But the finish leaves short from Hamilton. And the save. Xavier in business.
How about the footwork of Fremantle staying in front of Ross on that hard drive with the left hand? Talk about a guy who's really had a lot of problems with his feet over his career. Fremantle, nice work there.
Under 5 to play in this first half. Fremantle loaded up. He knocks it down. The Musketeers' offense has come alive. They've made 5 of 6 and lead by 9. Ross, dress for less, score for more.
Communication has to be a tick better for Marquette. That's all. They're going to have opportunities to score. But right here, there's so much space right in that area. Got to converge. That's why the decision makers always pop in there.
Fremantle going at the inexperienced bigs.
It's just tough. If you can't make Marcus Foster do something different, turn the other way, you got to go away from Zach Fremantle somehow.
Parham leave it on the outside. Ross looking inside. It's a touch for Hamilton against Fremantle, and the youngster can't win the battle. McKnight quickly up the court. The trailer is Foster. Help fire. Uncontested board for Lowry.
That was a lights out 3. He was trying to turn off the power on Marquette with that one.
Jones, the cross, the J, short. Lowry, offensive rebound, second chance. Another opportunity. This time he banks it home. Cam Jones has all the angles.
No style points. They all count if they go through the net.
Now second in program history in points. Fremantle climbs the ladder himself.
Wow.
Ross, attack mode. They're going to wave it off. Foul on the floor. Under 3 to play in this first half. And we're starting to feel it a little bit in SG.
Yeah. Both teams saying, look, we're going to play the hits. Cam Jones banks it in, but sometimes it's like that. And Zach Fremantle emphatically at the other end. Xavier, Marquette, don't go anywhere.
They've got some legends in the building. For more, we go to John Fanta.
No, I have your friend, 13-time All-Star, 3-time champion. He's been on Jenna and Friends all week. It is Dwayne Wade. No Eagle says hello.
What was that? No, who?
He claimed to go to dinner with you in Paris. Do you remember?
Nah, I know Tyler. Yeah, I know Tyler. He's the man to his left. He's the real star anyway. But no, Noah's great. I had an amazing time being here on Jen and Friends, hosting, doing some a little bit what you would think would be outside my box, but a little bit my personality. And so it's always great. Here to be able to support Marquette is an honor for me. But I had a great time with that guy down there. He made me. He was like he won LeBron, but he was like Mario Chalmers. He was like Mario Chalmers, and I was D-Wade. So it was a good team. It was a good teammate.
We'd love to hear that. Look, this place is so part of what defines you. Marquette University. Earlier this week on Jen and Friends, you gave a student a scholarship. That was an awesome surprise. How would you define Marquette and what it's meant to the life of Dwayne Wade?
Well, you know, it's a 18-year-old kid coming out of the inner city of Chicago. Marquette helped define me. And also, too, they gave me a chance when a lot of people didn't, a lot of teams didn't. You know, struggling in my ACT, academically ineligible. So Marquette forever over here.
When you watch this Marquette team play, what do you see?
Yeah, it's the identity of our head coach, Shaka Smart. You know, just a real scrappy team. You know, teams just continue trying to find their identity. You know, they continue to going out this year. They continue to keep fighting. Even when they get knocked down, they continue to keep getting up, just like right now. So we're fighters, and we're going to continue to be that.
How do you like the energy of Shaka Smart?
Shaka's amazing, man. You know, we hope he's a forever guy, you know, at Marquette. He's just an incredible leader. He leads with compassion, he leads with empathy, but he also leads with fire, and he's very fierce. So, you know, we love him being the head of the snake over here at Marquette.
So, obviously, you called a gold medal victory. That was awfully cool with Mr. Eagle. But I want to know whether it was a dinner or something interesting about him that the America doesn't know that you can now unveil.
Interesting? I don't know about all that. No, man, we just spent a lot of time together. You know, I didn't know what I was doing when I sat next to Noah. And the first time that we sat next to each other, man, and we did a exhibition game in a sense, he let me know that he was D-Wade and I was LeBron in that famous photo. And he kept me at ease. And he also paid for dinner. There's not a lot of guys that take me out to dinner. He took me out to eat. We talked a lot about, even where I am today, about TV, about what I can accomplish, what I can do, who I can be here. So I appreciate that guy over there.
All right, let's cap it with this then, Dwayne. Tell us what's ahead on Jenna and Friends tomorrow.
Well, it's our last show tomorrow, and I'm a little sad to go. I've had an incredible time, getting an opportunity to, you know, wake up with America. And just, you know, show my personality, show that I'm interested in people. And Jenna's been incredible. She's like Noah. She's a pro. And so whenever you sit next to someone that is better than you, you want to raise your level. And so hopefully I've done that.
Nice to meet you, Dwayne. Thanks for taking me.
I appreciate it. The sky blue look good on you, too. That's that Marquette blue right there.
I appreciate that. Can you send it back to your partner?
Yeah, I can. Hey, Noah Eagle, take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. Mario Chalmers over here, just ready to rock.
Mario was a winner.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Mario was a winner.
NCAA tournament.
Come on, man.
NBA championships. Marquette trying to follow suit. Just hanging around here. Xavier has found their offense. 6 of their last 7 have gone down. Maddox back on the floor. Around it goes McKnight. Final 2 minutes here in this first half. Oh, nice post touch and finish. Deep position for John Hughley.
John Hughley's important for them when they change the look. When Fremantle goes to the bench, he has to stay on the floor, play without fouling. He is a physical and aggressive player. But look, if he can do that, get your buckets at the other end, Noah. Wow.
Conwell pulls and hits in transition. Timeout, Marquette. It's a Xavier avalanche to end this first half.
Oh, everyone's talked about trying to stay away from St. John's as long as you can. I think Xavier, you got to put in that conversation too. This is a buzzsaw. The Muskies find their largest lead of the game. They are the real deal, folks. Marquette's got to do some work here.
Game summary so far. It was a back and forth affair for most of this first half, but in the last couple of minutes here, Xavier's offense has come alive. They're up to 59% from the floor, 6 of 12 from 3, and Conwell had struggled mightily in those first 2 matchups against Marquette. He's got 11 points and 5 boards already in this first half.
The 6 threes for Xavier, they might not jump off the page. It is 50%, but it's when they hit them. The last one in transition, the previous one from the corner out of a timeout. These are huge plays. They are plays that take the air out of you. And again, if you're Marquette, you're used to having your way on the defensive end. The difference is Xavier is popping the ball. They have 11 assists, Noah. 11 on 16 made field goals. Hard to get in position when that ball's moving that fast.
Joplin, change of pace, couldn't finish, knocked out of bounds, going the other way. Coming up on the Xfinity halftime report, Cam Jones starting to turn it on as this first half winds down. St. John's is awaiting the winner of this matchup and some highlights from across other conference tournaments, including the Big 12 and the SEC, with NCAA tournament seeding on the line. Shaka Smart just searching for answers right now. Trey Norman is going to check in, play just 1 minute against St. John's. Xavier has gone 10 for its last 12. Conwell and Fremantle each with 11. Maddox on the attack, clearing the space. Oh, rejected! Parham says not this time. Norman left alone. Pump, drive on Conwell. Parham puts it on the deck himself. Under a minute to play in the first half. Lowry. And it has been tough sledding in the paint right now for Marquette.
Defensively, Xavier's right there, though. They're chesting up. They're moving their feet. Not a lot of slapping at the ball.
And a foul away from the basketball and it's going the other way.
Hughley just a little too much. You got the size, the height, and the weight advantage. You don't have to bury Stevie Mitchell down there. Just get position, use your strength. You see right here, you don't need it, that off arm. It's got a lot of girth. Use some of that. You don't need your arms to extend out. But he's important. He's got to stay on the floor, though, as we just talked about.
Meanwhile, Parham slowly makes his way back to the Marquette bench as Hughley will sit. So Joplin and Gold both playing with 2 fouls. 38.4 seconds left. They've got to be smart in these final moments of the first half. Jones barking out signals. Screen from Lowry. Jones circles. Around the horn it goes for Joplin. 16 to shoot. Spin. Kick. Jones. Pump. Drive on McKnight. That is crafty.
Changed hands in the air. Cute. Man.
Shot clock off. 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Xavier's led by as many as 12. Looking to push it once again and finish with a bang here. 3 seconds left. Conwell creates the space. Short. And Marquette gets a stop going into the break. Xavier was on fire offensively, extending their lead to as many as a dozen. They are 18-3 this season when leading at the half, and they've got a lengthy one after 20 minutes of play here. Shooting the ball 55% from the floor, 6 of 13 from 3, and as Donnie mentioned, the 11 assists on the 16 made field goals. We've got the Xfinity halftime report coming up after the break with Xavier leading Marquette 46-36. The Musketeers doing everything right on both ends and trying to book their ticket with a date for St. John's tomorrow here at MSG. Well, is there any better halftime entertainment than the legend Red Panda? Dominated today, didn't drop a ball, and then John Fanta's right there. He's got a gold bowl for the legend. Rob Stone was getting her all of her white normal bowls. The gold one was for excellence over a long period of time, and she was overwhelmed with emotion. We're just glad to have you back here at the Big East Tournament. You just never know what you're going to see on court. We saw a lot in that first 20 minutes. Noah Eagle, Donnie Marshall, and John Fanta. Glad you could join us. The first 20 minutes was really defined by what Xavier did offensively. Such fluidity by the end of the first half.
Yeah, they looked so comfortable from the start. It's all about making your opponent uncomfortable. And we know this time of year, everyone kind of knows everyone. There are no secrets. But the ball movement was phenomenal for Xavier. Again, they continue to show every game there's another layer to them. And veteran guys, you're running out of time, but they're continuing to play the right way. No selfishness at all. And honestly, you know, your veterans, Ryan Conwell, to me, has really shown that, look, I don't need to have the ball in my hand the entire game to be effective. And he struggled this season against Marquette in a couple of games. 14 combined points in their 2 games. You see it right there. And not only that, 6 of 23 from the field in those games as well. Has struggled, only made 1 3 and 1 of 14. And today you see him, he's feeling more comfortable, but that has a lot to do with his teammates.
Let's hear about Marquette with John.
Well, Shaka Smart said, fellas, when we lost Tyler Kolek and Oso Iguodaro, that meant that this year we have to be a team that is built to guard. We have to fall back on our defense. We can't simply win a game of match and baskets, obviously down by 10. So we got to build a wall. We got to be more physical, and you can't let Xavier get out in transition.
John, there's a reason that this Marquette team practices 4-on-5 with their defensive sets. They want to learn the scramble, be comfortable with the scramble beforehand. And Chaka's mentality is if we can defend with 4, then we certainly can defend anybody with 5. Joplin started the first half with a 3, but he can't do the same in the second half.
That's a tough one coming out of the locker room. Zach Fremantle, extended hand.
Conwell, he is too good with the ball in his hands. The response right there, quickly down the other end for Ross.
And Marquette has to get back to who they are, pointing, talking. In that first half, I felt that they just looked a step slow. You know, the reaction was not there like you see it normally. They look, they turn, look, and then run, versus during the season, they would just turn and run immediately to that open guy.
Fremantle had it knocked away, and that's going to be out of bounds off the Golden Eagles. Mitchell with nice hustle, does appear to be okay after taking the spill. And 20 on the shot clock on the reload. Sean Miller barking out signals for his team. Shaka Smart just waiting for his group to turn up the energy and turn up the intensity defensively. Step into it, Foster. Long rebound right back to him.
Can't happen though. I don't care if you're in a zone or a man. Someone's got to run. Even if 2 blue jerseys run to that ball, you need it.
McKnight step through. Foster jab, drive into the paint. Good defense by Jones.
Cam Jones is a better defender than he gets credit for. He's got good size, great anticipation.
There he is on the outside. Jones attacks and he's fouled. You know he's going to be willing to force the issue, and he'll head to the free throw line for the first time today.
I know it's not in their fabric, it's not in their makeup, but to me, Cam Jones, really nice job on this end, and he's earned the right, not only because of that play, but because of his entire career, to have the ball in his hands more and go to work. Let him just kind of, let him cook a little bit. I know that's not what Shaka Smart's teams normally do. He can get you buckets late, but love to see how Xavier defensively would react to him if they put him in a pick and roll and let him kind of go to work.
This the first one. Initially, they had that foul against Swain, which would have been his 3rd, but they changed it to McKnight, just his 2nd. Here is McKnight. Back to a 9-point game. Xavier led by as many as 12. Marquette was up 6-2 to start the game, and then it's been all Xavier since. Back down Fremantle. Kick out. Swain got caught in the air. Last second he found Foster. 7 to shoot. Foster physical. McKnight swing it. Conwell. End of the clock. Money.
Much better job though trying to run guys off that line. It just Xavier finds the right guy at the right time.
It felt like a given that Conwell was due for a big game against Marquette. Gold misses everything. Conwell up to 16 already. McKnight all the way down the floor, missed it. Fremantle's there, but a foul called late. We'll see if they called the foul on the shot or on the rebound. No, it was on the shot, so free throw's coming for Xavier.
Yeah, just sidesteps 2 guys. Another beautiful lefty release. McKnight giving it up. Just the unselfishness, I think, is what's most impressive about that. The way Xavier finished this season.
Joplin just picked up his 3rd. Conwell, 16 points to go with the 2 rebounds and 2 assists, but he's only done it in 19 minutes, and the efficiency is off the charts. 6 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 6 from downtown. This is the largest lead now for the Musketeers. Jones, screen comes from Mitchell, leaves it for Mitchell, open in the corner. Marquette just can't buy one from the outside right now. 5 of 18 from 3.
Well, they're going to keep shooting them. They took 29 a game during the regular season.
Fremantle with a purpose, just couldn't finish.
Right now Marquette's at 18 from 3. And just you need to just continue to try to get better shots, work that ball.
Jones fires and buried for 3.
Gotta have the ball in his hand, Noah. This is, again, we've talked about it for 2 days. Play the hits. You give it to your studs when you're trying to get over the hump, and then you win a game, then you go fix it later.
And Jones had 32, 9, and 7 against the best defense in the conference just 5 days ago. Here he is up to 16 points, slowly finding his rhythm. Swain cross, float, rebound of Gold. Jones running the show again. Mitchell right back to him. Jones pump, put it on the deck, kick it out. Ross. Not on! Chase Ross on target from the corner, and it's an 8-point game.
All Cam Jones there. Shot fake. Drew a couple guys. Finds his teammate in the corner. This is Cam Jones' time right now.
Taking over and getting his team back into it. Fremantle handed. Conwell looking for the response. Attacks on Gold. Step away, Jay. Pure. That was sweet from Ryan Conwell. Ross, spray it out. Mitchell, bottom. shots starting to fall on both sides. The senior getting himself into it. Conwell. Marquette with 3 straight from beyond the arc. McKnight looking inside, couldn't find Fremantle. Tennis shoot now for Conwell. Small ball pick and roll. Conwell. Oh! He's a man possessed. Ryan Conwell is shooting into the ocean at MSG.
Wow. Ryan Conwell right now unstoppable, but his movement is awesome. Nice little step back there. Squares the shoulders. Beautiful lefty release from mid-range. And then this one from Times Square. Xavier up 10 over Marquette. Third school in 3 years, and I think this one's going to stick. I think he's in the right spot. And only because he's got the right teammates around him. He's got a great coach who understands his game. Started at South Florida, then Indiana State last year, great team. And then now Xavier, he seems to be most of the time the head of their snake. You have to know where he is at all times. Such a prolific scorer. I mean, the guy's a pro and only in his 3rd year of school.
12 20-point game of the season, his 5th straight. You mentioned that Indiana State team last year. That starting 5 was just outstanding with Conwell and Swope and Robbie Abula, those 2 following Josh Schertz over to St. Louis. Then you had Jason Kent, who's one of the best cutters in the country. You got guys at power conferences now and power schools, and Conwell leading the way. 16.2 points per game this year. He averaged 16.6 last year to be 8th in the Missouri Valley Conference. He was the newcomer of the year, 2nd teamer in that conference, 3rd teamer in this conference this year. And boy, has he put on a show at the world's most famous arena.
Boy, scored over 600 points, Noah, last year at Indiana. That is,
it's hard to do.
Man, 1,200 in his career in 3 years.
He's got 10 points in the second half alone. He's 4 for 4. Jones has come alive as well. Drive, dish, Ross, finish.
It is all on. You hate to do this, but it's the way Marquette's built. They have other guys who are capable, but it really is all on Cam Jones' shoulders. Everything he does, his teammates react and they respond to it the right way. He needs the ball in his hand for the duration.
Ross and Jones have combined for 30 of the 50 for the Golden Eagles. Jones with his 3rd assist there. Conwell remaining aggressive, hook it, Fremantle, tough catch, couldn't finish, long rebound, Joplin gets there first. A lot of contact, and Jones will bring it across. Ross forcing the issue. Reload with their star. 6 minutes gone by in this second half. Jones, a little shimmy shake outside for Parham. He'll load it up. Yes, sir! Marquette down by as many as 14, back to within 5. McKnight. Oh, he sneaks it through right past Lowry. Tough finish there by the transfer from Western Kentucky. Long strides, Jones. Fremantle may have gotten a piece. A lot of contact. Jones crumbled to the deck. Conwell ahead of the pack. Got it to go. Conwell continues. There's no stopping this man.
Such a wonderful finisher around the basket. He almost quits you. He's got great English on it. Finishes with both hands before you can time it and get to a block. That ball's going up.
Foul goes against Maddox. It is a combo of Ross and Jones against Conwell right now in a battle in the Big East tournament.
Yeah, again, everything that's happening the rest of the way for Marquette has to start with Cam Jones. Good cut by Ross, and then Parham, great space out, knockdown, but Ryan Conwell's got all the answers.
In many respects, we look at the rest of the bubble. This is the field of 68. Last 4 in includes Xavier. North Carolina's in that first 4 out. Well, Oklahoma takes down Georgia in the first round of the SEC tournament. Then Ohio State. This was a big-time upset with Iowa dethroning them in the Big Ten. North Carolina gets a big win over Notre Dame, and this was huge. Indiana falling to Oregon. Oregon's one of the hottest teams. You talk about Xavier, winners of 7 in a row. Oregon's been one of the hottest teams in the country. You take away that 5-game losing streak, which I know you can't do, but you do. They've been one of the best teams all year. For Xavier, just 1-8 in quad 1 games, and that's going to be the potential downfall of this resume. But with Ryan Conwell and the way that he's playing, and overall how Sean Miller has this team rolling, there's many arguments that they deserve to be in regardless the way they played down the stretch, but a win here goes a long way, and we'll see what they can do if they do advance tomorrow against St. John's. Driving kick, Jones, patient, 6 to shoot. Now he's going to have to force. Jones, hook it, Parham, end of the clock, got it!
Yeah, and Shaka Smart telling Parham, get back. He wants to hold the 3 up and celebrate. You can't do that in a game like this where you've been playing catch up most of the game. You can celebrate after you win.
Swain, oh, nice move. He lost Ross initially. And a foul away from the ball as Hunter was trying to work for position.
And Cam Jones finding guys. McKnight gets turned around a little bit. Parham, nice release, hold the follow through. Trying to hold the 3 up. Shaka Smart's pushing him back down the floor.
Let's go to John.
No, Donnie, Shaka Smart looked at his team and said, fellas, we know this is a program. At the Big East tournament, it takes multiple efforts. You have that championship DNA. You gotta keep pressing. You gotta keep pushing. This is going to go right down to the wire. We cannot let up right now.
They haven't. They've turned up the defense, and they've certainly found their offense. They started 0 for 3 from downtown in the second half. They've made 5 in a row, and Jones, with a swipe and score, has this to within 4. 12 minutes to play. Hunter gets a touch. Can't finish. Marquette fans in the building making their presence felt. Jones with his eyes up. Spray it out. Lowry will try. In and out for 3. The steal. Takes it in for 2. What a finish, flat-footed. Mitchell looking right at D. Wade, says this is what we do. Marquette within 2. Timeout, Sean Miller and Xavier.
How about the pursuit of Stevie Mitchell? D. Wade is loving it. It all starts with Cam Jones. Can't say it enough. Little poke away, beautiful. Fancy finish there, the English, and then, whoo! He's gonna steal your cookies. You mess around with it, Stevie Mitchell will take it. K1, Killer, Cam Jones, call him what you want. Call him a baller right now. He's got a lot of nicknames. He's the leader of this Marquette team. We've heard it. Hits the start button, head of the snake, all that good stuff. He just plays. I mean, he really is one of those guys who was ridiculed a little bit early season. He wouldn't be able to fill the shoes of Tyler Kolek and Idoso Iguodaro. How's this guy going to carry him? How's he going to play point guard after being a scorer? He's answered all of those. He ticks every box. He gives it up on the defensive end. It's a nice luxury for Shaka Smart to have, because as much as it is a cliche, he is the extension of that coach over there, right there that you see in Shaka Smart. Wonderful, wonderful player, #1 in blue.
The 7-0 Marquette run, they had Conwell on the bench, and Xavier's recognizing they got to get both him and Fremantle back out there, back on the floor, both in double figures. Conwell leading all scorers with 23 points. They'll get it to Fremantle here against Parham. Double being shaded. Fremantle gets out of there. 5 to shoot. Oh, that's a foul against Mitchell. Just a little overzealous after the catch by Swain.
Man, that was a nice series defensively. They pushed Xavier out so far. Offense was about 5 feet away from, 10 feet away from midcourt. Their offense has been starting much tighter. Marquette getting up into guys.
Approaching the midway point of this second half. It is a 2-point game. Marquette has not led since the 18:25 mark of the first half. Fremantle may have traveled. Whips it out. One to shoot. Maddox. Short. Long rebound. Lowry. And a chance for Marquette to tie or take the lead for the first time since the opening minutes. It's Jones for the lead. Got it! Cam Jones delivers! From 14 down, Marquette back in front. Swain, tough take. Stops the 10-0 bleeding.
Now the pace looks a little bit like it did to start the game.
Ross too strong. Jones right there. Couldn't corral it. Gold does. Goes up strong for two.
Cam Jones again gets a hand on it, keeps it alive.
Back and forth now. Past the midway point of the second half. Fremantle gets a touch on the outside. Maddox rises. In and out. Rebound goes to Ross. Marquette has made 5 of its last 7. It's a 12-2 Golden Eagle run. Here's Jones again. Head fake. Keeps the dribble alive. Jones working on Foster. Dances. Jones. High steps. Missed it. Conwell working quickly. Oh, finds Fremantle streaking to the rim. Xavier back in front. Gold finds the playmaker. Jones into the paint, spinning. Nice defense by Fremantle, forced the miss, and a whistle going the other way.
And all of a sudden the energy is picked back up. Cam Jones just has that effect. They swing, getting downhill. It's what he does best. You got to get on that right hand and then goal. I think this all started because Cam Jones poked that ball away, kept it alive. And Fremantle just a workman mindset, just rim to rim, finish strong. That's what Xavier does.
You know exactly what you're going to get from him every single day, every single night he plays. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists in 25 minutes of action for Fremantle.
I had conversations with him all season. He said he's just so happy to be playing basketball. You understand that if you've ever sat out a long period of time.
Fremantle against Joplin here. 5 to shoot. Rips through, floats it up, puts it in. Tough finish for Fremantle. Jones hook it for gold. Mitchell will try. And the rebound ricochets up ahead. Fremantle leak out. Patience. Fremantle missed the slam. 5 on 4 the other way. It's Jones loading up. Short.
Woo! You gotta pay attention out here. Another one. We've seen a couple of those, Noah, where guys could not. They want to dunk the ball. Just go get your 2. So important in games like this.
McKnight leaves it for Maddox. Fending off on Ross. Stopped. Maddox outside. Fremantle's 3. Short.
That stage of the game, you'll see a lot of front rim shots. Guys' legs getting a little tired. A lot of energy in this building. Exhausted.
Jones to Joplin. Pump. Drive. Oh, good defense by Conwell. He traveled. Stepped right in front to cut him off. Timeout on the floor with 7:14 to play. And we've got a good game down the stretch at MSG.
Guys, I like the shots we're getting. You got to be poised in there and finish. Poised and go finish. Okay? Guys, down there, we have to talk to Silvers. Okay? He was screaming it. You got to get up. So listen, you're guarding the guy up high. Okay? Steve was here. Don't get too deep. Don't get too deep. Be up here. Now, on the back screen, make sure you zone the basket as much as we need to. Okay? They're going to try to go to that, and they may throw it. We're in coverage with man. You got to recover like crazy. If they dribble out of the fire, okay, The fire guy, get out, fix it. But then they're moving around. Swain's cutting baseline. We got to find him. Okay?
Shaka Smart told us when we spoke with him that this team has to be the best version of them. This time of year, you're not going to reinvent yourself as a team. Focus on who they are, what they need to do to get to that best version. And what he was concerned with in the last matchup against Xavier, he said the broadcast team at that point said Xavier is out-Marquetting Marquette. They were more aggressive. This is what he wants to see. Mitchell is a cookie monster and takes it all the way.
Tell you play around with it, Noah. He's on it. Does such a nice job of baiting you in. Eyes are always moving. They're up.
Foster is fouled. Jones was trying to cut him off. And it's going to be number 3 for Cam.
Hey, he's watching your eyes. You premeditate what you're going to do around great defensive players, and they pick up on it. Stevie Mitchell, one of the best in America.
He's got 5 steals in 24 minutes. Conwell, quick trigger for 3.
You mentioned it, the 7-0 run when he was out that Marquette was on. A lot of it was not because of his great defense, but really they couldn't answer.
15 second-half points for Conwell. Joplin toppling over, and a blocking foul is called. It'll likely go on the floor against Hunter.
We talked about his struggles in the 2 matchups, 6 points, 7 points against Marquette. Well, he's gotten all that back. 26 points for Conwell, 10 of 13 from the field, and I like it. Jerome Hunter, I like it. Take a chance. You see the spin coming. Sometimes that's when you can steal a charge.
Ryan Conwell is 6 for 6 in this second half. He's 3 for 3 from downtown. Cam Jones has continued to battle in this second half. He's up to 21 points and 5 assists, and he's got it here. Attacks, bounce to the outside. Lowry looking to clear some space. McKnight stripped him. Right place, right time. It's Mitchell.
This is Marquette basketball that we're seeing this last 5 minutes or so. Never standing still, always on the move. Guys showing up for a teammate.
Swain just dribbled it off his foot. Turned it over. Marquette ball.
Stevie Mitchell has learned how to affect the game on both ends of the floor. When he's not stealing the ball, you see him sneak behind Conwell there. Got to be more active. If you're Ryan, and look, against Marquette's defense, you have to be intentional, Noah. You can't guess. It can't be a soft pass. Got to be deliberate with everything you do.
Gold, pump, fly by. Jones connects. Another 3 to put Marquette in front. Looking to find Conwell, who's been the star in the second half. Swain knocked away. Steal for Marquette. Ross in transition. Leave it last second. Joplin kick. Spray. Mitchell drive to the rim for 2.
There's a pop to Marquette. All starts with their defense. Deflection, so important for them.
Conwell contested. First miss of the second half. Sails out of bounds, but it stays with Xavier.
Well, Cam Jones, nice job. Stay away. But Ben Gold deserves a lot of credit there. Shot fake, puts it down. Just a spectacular process that they go through on the defensive end. Guys run their lanes, and then just when you think you have someone cut off, Stevie Mitchell right downhill.
Jones and Mitchell have combined for 23 second half points. Tough take for Conwell, and he's going to the free throw line. It's going to be Mitchell picking up his second.
Yeah, Mitchell wasn't committed to taking a charge or going for the block. Got caught in between.
So Mitchell with 14, Ross with 14, Jones with 24. Conwell leads all scorers with 26, and Fremantle has 15 for the Musketeers. This is winning time. You want to get in the tournament. Less than 5 minutes to play for Sean Miller's team. Down by 2 in a game they've led by as many as 14. Remember, each of the 2 games prior with these 2 teams was a 2-point deficit or 2-point win either way in a season split. And the winning team led by double digits in both games, led by as many as 15 or more in both of those games. Can Xavier keep the trend going, or will Marquette bucket to get back in the win column? Mitchell out of the corner. Joplin's been relatively quiet today. He's got the mismatch he wants on Fremantle. Step back. Oh, that's pretty. Four minutes to play, and Marquette has its largest lead. Hunter looking, and we got a foul. Joplin got a little too close and hit Hunter in the face. But he delivers on a big 3 to extend their lead.
Yeah, David Joplin, every game he was available for in his entire career, he has played big time basket right there. Stepping up.
In this second of 4 on the Thursday of the Big East tournament here in 2025. We expected this 4-5 matchup to be one of the best in the opening days, certainly, and maybe for the entire week. It has lived up to the billing so far. Xavier led by 14 points in this second half, but Marquette has made a furious comeback. They've made their last 5 to take a 4-point lead as we check in with John.
Guys, Sean Miller looked at his team and he said, at the end of the day, fellas, this comes down to being disciplined and getting stops. He says that Stevie Mitchell is just backdoor cutting their defense to death right now. He said it's killing us. We've got to be physical. We can't let them run their stuff with ease.
It sounds elementary, but it is so vital. You lock in, you do your job, do what you're supposed to do, star in your role, and most importantly, find ways to get stops on the defensive end, because Conwell has been a problem on the offensive end, and then a foul on the follow will send Swain to the free throw line.
A little late there, Ross, but I like it. The foul, make guys earn it the rest of the way. I think it's important. Look, we know Marquette got back into this game making threes. They picked up what they were doing defensively, but they've taken care of the ball. Only 4 turnovers, which we've talked about for 2 days now, how important possessions are this time of year. But the other piece for Marquette is that they're 10th in rebound margin on the season in conference play. They got to win this 335 on the glass. Anytime you can control possessions, it's going to help you in a tight game.
You just don't see a team have a scoring margin of plus 9.3 that have a negative rebounding margin that often.
It's unheard of.
Meanwhile, David Joplin is going to check back in here. He's back on the floor with 4 personal fouls. He'll have to play smart in the final 3.5 minutes. Jones swing it. Joplin was there, but a nice recovery by Marcus Foster to knock it out of bounds. 16 to shoot for this Marquette offense that has caught fire in the second half. Shaka Smart delivering instructions to his team. Ross will be the trigger man. Starting 5 on the floor on both sides. Joplin, jab, drive, lost it initially, got it back. Reload with Jones, 8 to shoot. Sean Miller imploring his team to defend. Jones off the heel, and the rebound goes to the Musketeers. Swiped down by Swain. Conwell in transition, and they'll slow it down with Fremantle.
Boy, they advance that ball fast.
Conwell, backdoor, hangs, puts it home. Ryan Conwell is that dude. 2:45 to play. Jones, patient for the bucket.
Ryan Conwell and Cam Jones are putting on a show at MSG right now. Conwell's so strong.
30 for Conwell, 26 for Jones. McKnight Just couldn't guide it through. Gold corrals the board. Jones with 14 second half points. And Marquette will work for a good one, up by 2. Swain steps up defensively. Mitchell sets the screen. Jones, hook it, open look. Joplin, short. Weak side rebound falls to Fremantle.
And it's what you expect this time of the game. It's been up and down. Those front rim threes. Get those legs underneath you.
Conwell, leave it for Fremantle. Conwell looking to free himself. A 3-ball. Bullseye! Ron Conwell, a man on a mission, trying to guide his team to the tournament, puts Xavier up 1. Jones on the fend off. Back down, spin on Conwell, lost him. The deuce from Jones. Marquette back in front. Timeout, Xavier.
And both teams know what's coming, but this is how prolific these two young men are. There's nothing you can do about it. Great job running your stuff. Conwell using that strong frame. And then the crafty Cam Jones, a little head fake, the step through. Again, both these teams know where the game can be won. Offensively, Conwell knocking it down, and boy, oh boy. How about the display? You're welcome, MSG.
Yeah, you're welcome, America. You're welcome, Big East Conference. Now you have 1:16 to play. Xavier with 1 timeout, Marquette with 1 timeout. Xavier's only had 3 team fouls in this second half. Marquette already in the penalty with 7. This is crunch time. This is tournament or no tournament for the Musketeers, and for the Golden Eagles, a chance to get back on the right track after back-to-back losses to finish the season. I mean, the second half numbers for Jones and Conwell are just ridiculous. Gaudy on either side. A combined 38 points between the two of them.
And those are full game stats for most players, especially in tournament time. I love the fact that both coaches have said, you know what, we love running our stuff, and a lot of teams will continue to run their stuff, and then next thing you know, you look up, you're losing. You got to play the hot hand. This time of year, you got to just go with those guys. Everyone knows each other so well. They know what you're running. They know your system. Go with the hot hand.
Well, this is the hottest hand. 33 points for Conwell. Finds Fremantle on the pop. Trying to get it back to him. And they do. Gold steps up on the hedge. Get it out of his hands. Fremantle with 10 to shoot. Spins in the lane. Had it stripped. Fremantle trying to get it back. He couldn't. Ross took it away. 50 seconds remaining. Marquette looking to extend the lead. Fans on their feet at MSG. Jones puts the offense in motion. Jones tripped, no whistle. Joplin, splash! Winning time came calling, and Joplin answered. Knocks it out of bounds on the other end. Playing in foul trouble all day, and David Joplin, all Big East third team, a hero at MSG.
Marquette has gone 8 of their last 10. David Joplin, same shot not too long ago. Front rim, that one got his legs underneath him. Huge bucket.
Final 20 seconds here. Does Xavier have one final push? Swain clears the space and gets the roll. Timeout with 15.8 seconds remaining. In a 2-point game, we'll be back in 30 for what is a fantastic finish at the world's most famous arena. 15.8 seconds left. Xavier, the slight issue for them right now is they only have 3 team fouls, and they're going to have to start playing the foul game to get them on the line. So normally you would say in this situation with nearly 16 seconds, you trap and try to get a steal, but considering they have so many fouls to give, they don't have that much time to work with.
No, they got to go fast. The other thing too is, who do you foul? You know, you got to find the right guy to put on the line. I know sometimes at this stage of the game you throw out the numbers and Guys' heart rates are a little bit faster, but put some good shooters on the floor for Marquette. They can knock them down, and right now it turns into a free throw shooting competition. You got to take care of the ball, get it in bounds. But you know, we had talked about Ryan Conwell and last year what he did, Indiana State, and today 33 points, most by a Xavier player in Big East tournament game history ever for them. It's pretty amazing.
So they add .2 back on the clock. It's 16 flat. Conwell and that Indiana State team, which was one of the most elite offenses in the country last year, they did not lose very often, but they lost their conference tournament and did not go to the NCAA tournament. They went all the way to the NIT final, losing to Seton Hall, Kadari Richmond and company, getting that victory. But Conwell is playing for his own tournament life. He's playing for this team's tournament life. And winners of 7 in a row to get themselves in position. They've got 3 fouls to give. And now no timeouts for Xavier. Marquette does have 1. They're going to run with a football play here. They get it in quickly. And the foul is given there. 1.9 came off the clock, so that's the 4th team foul. And I don't think that the officials. Yep, there we go.
Yeah. It's a creature of habit.
So that was number 3 on Swain. Still 2 more fouls to give before they put him on the free throw line. And they're going to run a similar play. Spread offense. Ross will inbound. Looking, and he calls the final timeout for the Golden Eagles. So they'll talk it over with 14.1 on the clock. Now neither team with a timeout left. Xavier still with 2 more fouls to give. So again, there's 2 schools of thought there, because you can actually be ultra aggressive, knowing that you have them to give. But at the same time, if you do trap and you don't get the steal, you might waste 4 or 5 seconds. That's precious time with 14.1 remaining.
Yeah, just you got to be deliberate. Whatever Sean Miller's telling them, just immediate. And it's hard to know that ball comes in. You're looking at the clock. You're trying to get a steal. There's just a lot going on. I think you have to decide what you're going to do immediately when that ball gets in bounds.
Winner here faces St. John's tomorrow night. Semifinal Friday at the Big East tournament. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. And what a game we have been treated to. It looked like Xavier at one point was going to run away, up by as many as 14 in the second half. Credit to Marquette. Started making shots, locked in defensively, and now here we are with 14 seconds left. Neither team with a timeout. And let's see if Xavier has anything left deep in their bag to find a way to either tie or win this game. They're going to have to start by trying to force a steal. Shaka Smart's team will send out Jones, Mitchell, Joplin, Gold, and Ross. It'll be Foster, Conwell, McKnight, Swain, and Hunter.
Have to be disciplined here. You cannot run. If you're Ross, you got to stay where you are. Guys have to move for you.
And that easily could have been an offensive foul. They get it in cleanly to Jones instead, and he's fouled, but he does shave another 1.9 off the clock. Oh, he toppled over, and Sean Miller and company were very upset they didn't get that whistle.
And I think that was Conwell. Tried to sell it.
So we'll do it all over again with 12.2. Still 1 more foul to give for Xavier before Marquette's at the free throw line. They get it to Jones in space. And the quick foul with 10.5 now on the clock.
Just getting it inbounds off that baseline alleviates a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Next time you have to throw it in.
Ross will do it 1 more time. And they've found their senior point guard leader every single time they've inbounded so far. Looking for number 1 again. Ross lob it up, dangerous and taken in. Ben Gold is fouled and he'll get the 1-and-1. And it's number 5 for Dalen Swain. He has fouled out of this game in 27 minutes, 11 points, 7 rebounds. And boy, that was close.
It's interesting how much stress you feel based on where you're taking the ball out of bounds.
They make it 4 on Swain. But a 1-and-1 here. Gold, 77% shooter. Oh, he gets the roll. Used every bit of the iron. No timeouts on either side. With a make, it's a 2-possession game. With a miss, Marquette could decide to foul. 1 out of 2. Rebound, and Xavier has the door open. Will Marquette foul? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jones fouls Conwell. 1-and-1 incoming for the man with a Big East tournament record for Xavier, 33 points. This is as close as it gets.
All around good shot. I like it. You know me. I like to foul, be in control. There's too many weapons on this side from behind the three-point line to let them play this out.
Conwell calm. Now 4 for 4 at the line. 6.7. You could discuss a miss, but it feels a little early. Sean Miller doesn't appear that he's imploring his team to do so. We'll see what Conwell elects to do. Two for 2. Offense, defense with Fremantle out and Hunter in. And now it looks like Marquette will go with this spread offense look again.
Get it in, hold it. You don't need to dribble this ball once you catch it.
They do get it in. Mitchell is fouled. 5.9 remaining. It's a 73% free throw shooter going to the line for a 1-and-1.
I never understood why players, knowing time and score, why they feel they have to put the ball on the floor. Just, you know what the other team is going to do. They're going to foul you. Just catch it, hold it. Here they come. Especially where the clock is. You're not going to have a backcourt violation. Secure that ball.
And now Swain did pick up his 5th foul, so he is officially fouled out of this game. With 5.9 remaining, they're going to get Maddox on the floor for offensive purposes either way. So you've got Maddox, McKnight, Foster, Conwell with a career-high 35 points, and Fremantle. It'll be Mitchell going to the free throw line, 1-and-1. Marquette won't even put anybody initially on the line, on the lineup here. Little surprising. They've got Gold, Jones, Joplin, and Ross surrounding him. Lowry at the scorers table. And now finally Gold will go in there. Just in case of a miss.
Yeah.
Gotta have somebody in there.
I think they're thinking, let's retreat and have our guys back to help if he does miss.
And he gets it to go. Another nervy finish at the rim. Lowry in, Jones will go out. And now deeper into the bench with Trey Norman checking in for David Joplin. So it would appear they would foul up 3. He's got to make this one first.
Yeah, quick lineup in. Switching all across the board right now for Marquette.
2 big ones. Stevie Mitchell in for Conwell. 4 seconds left, and he's fouled again with 4.1.
Every time, Noah. You control the situation when you foul.
So at what point do you start thinking about that miss on a second free throw? How much time on the clock do you start believing that's the case?
You're getting pretty close. Next time they get it in, it's going to be to 2, and then you really, Marquette goes down and knocks down another 2 free throws. Now you don't have time to advance the ball, so it's got to be this possession right here, this second free throw.
Conwell with a career-high 35. He's got to make this first one first. Crowd here has been treated to an outstanding showing of effort, intensity, and Big East basketball. St. John's took care of business in our first game. Winner here faces the Johnnies in the next round. Conwell has been sensational. Missed it! Rebound Ross! And a foul given with 2.6.
I know that hurts, but he's got nothing to hang his head about. That's sometimes how the game goes. 35 points. Ryan Conwell did everything to put his team in a position to win this game.
Now, because Xavier had so few team fouls early, this is still a 1-and-1 for Ross, who goes to the line as a 75% shooter. Jones is back in the game. Joplin is back in the game, along with Mitchell, Gold, and Ross. 2.8 left. Xavier battling for a tournament resume win, and Ross can put this one to bed at the free throw line and get Marquette back in the W column. Got it.
How about the fight?
Kind over there.
Yeah, how about the fight Shaka's guys put out there on that floor? Boy, they talk about unplugging it and plugging it back in. They did just that, and whew, everything was in working order.
2.8 left. In for Conwell. He'll put it up at the horn, put it in to finish a fantastic game, but down by as many as 14. Shaka Smart's team takes center stage once again at the world's most famous arena. Marquette takes down Xavier 89-87 in a classic.
How about that comeback? Largest of the season. Timely, I would call that.
Shaka Smart said he liked the process moving with his team over the last couple of weeks of the regular season, even with the final 2 games. Just a fantastic win for Shaka Smart's team. Said it doesn't always count with the wins and losses during the regular season, but you get to this time as they set up the matchup with the #1 seed in the Big East tournament, and Shaka standing by with John Fanta.
Shaka to come back from 14 down and win this game. What does it say about your group?
Well, last night I showed them a lot of clips from the last 6 games we played here in the Big East tournament. I said, guys, nobody's got the experience that we have winning games in this building, but none of those games were easy. Today certainly was not easy, but the guys hung in there. I love the way that we attacked on the offensive end and obviously got just enough stops.
Cam Jones with 28 points, with Dwayne Wade watching him courtside. How much has he made for these moments?
Well, you know, we say there's no half shots. He's really starting to embrace that and understand, man, I'm a senior. All right, the hourglass, the sand's running through the hourglass. I got to attack, and I thought he did that and all of our guys did that.
I'm going to share with you a nugget that I got from the opposite side from Coach Miller. At one point he said, fellas, Stevie Mitchell is burying us. That's not news to you. How would you categorize him?
He's such a unique player. He's such a unique player. You can't quantify it. He willed us to come back when we were dead in the water. I love the guy.
Does anything beat winning in this building?
Well, man, this is the best place there is to play or coach a basketball game. So I'm just glad we get another game tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night. And now let's talk to the star. He wears #1 fittingly. What did he just share with you?
That's his man. Me and him, we got a good relationship, so I'm going to keep that between us.
How would you sum up this comeback victory?
Who we are. In so many words. That's what I would sum it up as. That's who we are.
When you're down by 14, what allowed you guys to turn this game to your side?
Coming together. Everybody outside our locker room, you know, testing our manhood, kind of shitting on us, but, oh, my fault, excuse my language, kind of, you know, counting us out. We playing for each other. It's March. We know what time it is, and we know what our goals are. And we coming together, and we're going to do whatever it takes, man, whatever it takes.
What does Stevie Mitchell continually mean to this program?
Can't put it into words, man. Without him, you know, there is no Guardians. Well, technically it would be, but, you know, not with the success we've had. You know, Stevie Mitchell is the most pivotal piece. We need him, man, and he was magnificent. And, you know, it's a very, very quick turnaround. You got the #1 seed tomorrow. You know, that's the beauty of this, man. It ain't no game easy in this league. No game. You got 20 wars. The refs let you beat up on each other for 40 minutes. It is what it is. It's the best league in America, man.
And less than a week ago, you met the team that you will now meet tomorrow night. When you think about facing St. John's, what comes to mind?
Let's get it.
Cam Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
And John, one final time, a nice little mic drop from the interviewee. Tremendous stuff. Awesome stuff for the last 2 days, John. And what a way to go out in this early session in the Big East tournament. Marquette wins at 89-87. It's going to face top-seeded St. John's tomorrow. For Donnie Marshall, John Fant, our entire crew, No Eagles, saying thanks for joining us the last 2 days. Big East tournament presented by Jeep. We're going to head back to the studio. Ahmed Fareed, Jordan Cornette, and Matt McCall. Take it away.